bestowed by Dr. Ambika Kameshwar on the transformative power of Natya. Great pleasure in inviting Dr. Ambika Kameshwar to talk to us. Dr. Ambika, we are very grateful that you have come with a tune and we are very eager to.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. Angikam Bhuvanam Yasya Vachikam Sarvamangmayam Aharyam Chandrataravitam Namas Satvikam Shiva. A very good morning to everyone present here. It is a joy for me to talk about the transformative power of Natya. I thank Radha ma'am, Jayashree, and whoever else has been instrumental in calling me here for this opportunity to have this sharing. For me, although I have, by the grace of God, been in this exploration for a lifetime, actually, I am still a learner and shall continue to be till the end of my life. Transformative power of Natya. This was something that personally, as a little girl, learning dance and music, I felt there was much more about what I was learning, what I could do with what I was learning, than what was actually happening. I could clearly say that it was an inner voice which I could not put a finger to and quantify or define in any way. And yes, dance, music, the learning kept happening from when I was 5, music, when I was 6, dance, and performances happened. Every time I would feel this pull of the power of the presentation, which told me there is magic happening. I know it is magic, but I don't know how to put words to it or define it or in any way. And I get goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps now. So it's, as I said, every moment of exploration of Natya is wonderful. And God and life gave me an opportunity when I was 18, that is 42 years ago, to stand in front of a group of visually challenged students with the purpose and the role to teach them dance. Music also was part of the role, but music was not a challenge to teach because their sense of hearing was not in any way challenged. In fact, it was much sharper and they could fine-tune to the shruti, the lyrics, the rhythm, everything wonderfully. Because probably of that, the ones who were naturally talented, especially because of the not having any distractions, or maybe God-given, their singing was amazing. But how do we teach dance, a visual art, to a visually challenged person? I had no knowledge at that time. And it was just an assignment. Sri Ramana Maharshi Academy for Blind had asked my father to help to send me and my sister. But then my sister was busy with other things, so I had to go. And it was God's direct opportunity. But I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know what to do. I had no prior knowledge of any kind of special needs, any kind of transference to a person who has got. I had Kuti children and all I used to teach as part of the dance class. But then to stand in front of this group and, well, the magic had to be defined, right? Some point in time. And I started teaching them by the power of touch. So they would feel the mudras, and when they would replicate, I would stand amazed. It would be so perfect. Again, one sense not there, the other senses were very sharp. And I realized that the inner eye is the most powerful. The inner eye is the most powerful. And I saw magic taking shape. And I was not experienced, but I was very joyful in the presence of my very special students. The love they poured on me and the surrender they gave to learning whatever I was trying to teach them made the experience tremendously insightful and showing me the path as it evolved very, very beautifully. I was young, so I was ready to take challenges. I have said this story so many times, but I still feel it so fresh. It's as if it's happening now. And I gave this movement to one of the girls. It was a slightly higher stage. No? It was only about a foot high. And I gave this movement of running in and coming and stopping like this to my student. She cannot see, remember that. So running in and stopping. Okay. And everything had been done, the measurements, the performance is ready to be, to roll out. And those days it was the cassette recorder. And I'm sitting there in the pit, putting on the music. We have to measure for movements like stances, it would be touch, and then everything had to be broken down, literally like a storyboard in a movie, every frame or a cartoon which has to come out, an animation series, every frame has to be drawn out, right? Like that, every frame had to be touched, seen, experienced, and then expressed. So it was like that. So it was, but the learning process had been done, and I had measured the stage. I had finished measuring the stage. We do one circle, and then we do one diagonal. Everything done, and she has to come and stand there. But it was my first annual day program for them. That's why I had gone there, and there may be many in the audience who have heard the story before, but as it is new for me, even today, I'm sharing it all over again. And when she came, and when I put on the music and the music had rolled on, I had a churn in my stomach which said, okay, she's going to run. If she takes one or two extra steps than what we have measured, she's going to fall off the stage. Then how could you do this? This was my thought to myself. How could you do this? How could you be so ambitious? You could have given her something, which is like, more geometric, more clear, but that's not my style at all. I mean, it's not my style of expression at all. So I had just gone on with what was given to me. And she came and she stood, patak, over there. And I broke down then, and I break down now. It's not a joke to recognize the strength of Natya. It is so, 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 so amazing. Please recognize its grandeur, its transformative power, and the fact that it is a part and parcel of everyone's life, that magic is with us. It's not somewhere out there. It's with us day in and day out. What are we doing? What are we doing except Natya? Can any of us say that we are not in the Natya experience even one moment of our lives? We can't. Because that's what it is about. That's all. Everything is Natya, right? When we express ourselves, Angikam bhuvanam yasya vachikam sarvamangmayam aharyam chandrataradi tam namas satvikam shivam. Angikam bhuvanam, the entire movement of the universe is Natya. If we are acknowledging something and nodding our heads, it is coded. It's there in the Natya Shastra. We just don't connect with it. We are naturally going through the Natya experience. That's it. Vachikam sarvavangmayam. Every sound, if we speak, if we interact, if we express ourselves through sound, even those who are hearing and speech impaired, sound is there. Sound. Vachikam sarva, there is expression there. There is communication there. Sarvavangmayam. Aharyam chandrataradi. So everything, every property, everything, every accessory that we use, every property that we place, everything is aharya. Just one four walls. If you put chairs, it becomes a presentation place. If you put a set of shelves with books, it becomes a library. If you remove everything and put some mirrors and have a Nataraja, it becomes a dance hall. What you place there, right? It's the property. And for ourselves, if I put on my handbag, everyone knows that I'm going to go out somewhere. Why are you carrying your bag upstairs? My grandson asked me. It's my nightie. So I said, no, I just need to clear it up, and that's why. Because he was worried that I was sort of going to step out wearing my handbag and a nightie. Nightie, what does it mean? Night suit? You're at home. You're relaxed. You're not stepping out. Sari, formal. Everything defined. Aharyam chandrataradi tam namas satvikam shivam. Every moment we have an emotion in us which we are presenting in some way or the other. So every moment is Natya. I don't know what I have pressed. I have just made a PPT. Yes, what is development? Introduction to, okay. Having said my story, I have to also define it in a bit of a theoretical manner in order to actually apply it rather than it being an idea, an emotion, and an experience just for me. I thought I could put it down a little bit. Yes, we have that. So Natya, what is Natya? Which I said, every moment is Natya. Natya Shastra says, Yo ayam svabhavaha lokasya sukha dukkha samanvitaha so angadi abhinayopeto natyamiti abhidiyate. That which is the way of the world, which is exactly what I shared with you. That which is the way of the world. Yo ayam svabhavaha, which is the nature of the world. Lokasya, of the world. Sukha dukkha samanvitaha, that which has got sukha, that is joy, and dukkha, sorrow. So both are part and parcel of every experience. Each fosters the other and takes it forward in the right manner. Sukha dukkha samanvitaha. So anga adi abhinayo peto. So I talked about the angika, vachika, aharya and satvika. He says angadi. Adi means etc. and so forth. So anga adi abhinayo peto. Natyam iti abhideye. That is Natya. So that which we are able to express our joys, our sorrows, communication happening on a day-to-day basis, that is Natya. Yo ayam svabhavaha lokasya sukha dukkha samanvitaha so angadi abhinayo peto natyamiti abhidiyate. So what is abhinaya? Abhinaya, he defines, he says, abhipurvastunim dhatur abhimukhyartha nirnaye yasmat padarthan nayati tasmat abhinayah sprataha. Yasmat padarthan nayati. Padartha. So I have something to communicate. That becomes the artha. That is the meaning or the outcome of what I want to say. Pada, that is the word. Word here, if it is a non-verbal, how do you? That's what the expression we can call it. Pada arthan annayati. Padarthan nayati means takes it forward towards the understanding of what we want to say. So for that we use, so if Abhinaya is that which takes forward or is the tool by which we can express ourselves. That's it. And not normally, not just express ourselves, in a manner in which the Sahridaya or the listener or the co-artist in that moment, I call them the co-artists of that moment. It is not as if, because we are all actors at every point in time, means when I am working with an individual, any other individual also, he and me, are co-artists in that moment in the time space. So the Sahridayatva, such a beautiful term which Bharata uses for the audience. Why is it Sahridaya? Sahridaya, because at that point in time, when the communication is 100%, it is not always 100%. When it is 100%, when that communication is 100%, then there is the Sahridayatva. There is the oneness of the heart, and what is being communicated, the art becomes greater than the artist. That which is being communicated becomes bigger than the speaker and the listener, and both dissolve into that artistic experience or the experience of that communication. That's it. Right? So it, I don't know how to say it, just brings everything into focus. Everything. All dimensions come into focus at that point in time. So, Natya Shastra is comprehensive. This I have talked about actually. I did some ulta-pulta, but doesn't matter. Natya Shastra is comprehensive. See, as I said, I talked about life experience, and then we need something to fall back on to understand it, right? That's why we go back to theory. We know the universe, but we go back and understand the star. How far is the sun from the earth? How does the earth rotate? What is the axis? What are the latitudes? We go through that, right? Like that, we have to go through this so that we understand it more fully. The understanding comes by being. But then when we go through this, we are able to connect and do more justice to whatever role we are playing at any given point in time. And so, the previous slide I had said the comprehensive nature of Natya Shastra. Natya Shastra doesn't leave out anything. He talks about every aspect of performance. So we are only in performance. As I said, we are only in performance day in and day out. And he talks about the definition of every aspect of performance. Be it dance, be it drama, be it music, be it the definition of the arts and crafts that go on stage, the sets, the properties, everything is defined. How do you define the spaces? Everything. It is comprehensive. Everyone knows that it is there. That dance, all dancers fall back on Natya Shastra for their work. That's well known. But there is so much of Sangeeta Shastra there, and there is the Dasharupaka over there, and there's how do you do Sambhashana? What is a Vastu? What is a plot? How do dialogues take place? How does the denouement happen? Everything is there. Drama is there. Music is there. What are the instruments that can be used? So it's comprehensive. That is what makes it the Panchama Veda. It is a Veda in itself. That is why it is that which can take us through to the ultimate Dharmartha Kama Moksha. So that is why it is so special. This I spoke about. Role of Abhinaya in guiding appropriate behavior in various situations. See, this behavior is a beautiful word which comes in special education. It is like it's called the ABC of education. ABC is there are some antecedents, that is some triggers that make us behave in a particular manner, and that behavior is also influenced by the consequences of the earlier behavior. So if we have to go somewhere and if you're tired, we have a cup of coffee, we get a little stronger or attentive again. So the behavior of having coffee is influenced by the need or tiresomeness and the consequence of having had coffee earlier, and which has created a positive impact on you, and therefore you go and have the cup of coffee. So this is there in and we need to go into that, because we see different kinds of behavior. We have to see what has influenced that behavior. We may need to change it. We may need to foster some more appropriate behavior in the special children we are working with. So many things are there in that. But this is there. Vibhavanubhava Vibhichari Samyoga Rasa Nishpattihi. He says, there it's in Natya Shastra, he talks about the influences on behavior, on abhinaya. So, and the rasa that is generated therefore. So it is all been documented, it's all there. Yeah, so for personal growth, I've already spoken about, what does it say?
Exploration of emotions and capacity.
Yeah, so it allows you to, probably just read this, it allows you to explore emotions, it facilitates personal growth, because you can identify your own strengths and overcome your own weaknesses, and this is applicable to everybody. So I learnt all this not only through my working with the people with special needs, but they're teaching me by being themselves. So all that got documented, which is applicable across ability. It is now not talking about only a person with neurodivergence. Whether it's what we call the neurodivergent or a neurotypical, an ND or an NT, it doesn't matter. Natya is the influencer for all, right? It is a transformative, magical wand. Oh, you made it big. Okay, so there is the tools of theatre, which I would call tools of theatre or tools of Natya: dance, music, drama, arts and crafts. The arts and crafts. Arts and crafts in holistic development. Okay, next. Storytelling. Storytelling is part of drama. There is the basic storyline, and then we go in for drama. Next. So this I have also talked about. These are components of Natya. This you can go ahead. Next one. Okay. So when we apply this, as I said, across ability, ND, NT, whatever you want to call it now, these are all terms which keep changing. I have a very dear friend, who told me, Ambika, earlier they called me deaf, okay. Then they called me hearing impaired. Then they called me having differing needs. Then they called me having special challenges. What difference does it make? It is true that I cannot hear, but I carry on, I'm good. so it's like that. So when I said it's across. So Natya goes across individuals, but the power of Natya, as my work has been, is to document how we can structure the tenets given in the Natya Shastra in a very, very clear manner into the tools of theatre as dance, drama, music, storytelling, and arts and crafts, and define specific lesson plans to achieve specific developmental goals. So if somebody comes and says, I think my son or my daughter is now at this functional level, we need to take him or her to the next functional level. We do have to do an assessment, a baseline assessment. We have to plan, we have to make a clear syllabus which will use the tools of Natya, which will have drama, which will have storytelling, which will have arts and crafts, which will have music, which will have dance, and see the transformation, see the change. Then again do the end year assessment, review, make new lesson plans, take it forward. So that's how it keeps going. So it's structured in special education. They say individualized education plans. Okay. So this is exactly what we do. But only thing is the lesson plans that we make will be very clearly having these tools. Therefore, what happens, because of it being there is enhancement of movement skills, language, communication, social skills, everything. And of course, emotional expression and all. But the main thing which has to be shared in every forum I share it is that, what is the next slide? I don't know. This is the theatre arts for holistic development perspective. This is the term that I have coined for my postdoctoral research when I did. I said, let me document it and sort of publish the book and bring it into a kind of methodology where everyone can take it up and apply it also. And that's luckily by total God's grace, it got recognized. My postdoctoral fellowship happened, and the universities took up this methodology and started training special educators, and the faculty of disability management and special education took it up earlier in RKMBU, and now it is affiliated to Tamil Nadu Music and Fine Arts University, and therefore it is growing. It is more are taking it up and more are making it their own, and feeling that the power of THD. So we are all here in Rasa, powered by THD, and so it is timeless. Of course, it breaks barriers. So Theatre Arts for Holistic Development uses the tools of theatre and looks at, and it could be any goal. It could be just like I had a person coming in, an individual coming in and said she has a daughter who was in every way she had no issues, and suddenly one day when she was in college, God alone knows what fostered a kind of a small depression in her, and and I said THD is the answer. Theatre Arts for Holistic Development is the answer. And every day we are under so much stress. One session of THD and we are comfortable for the rest of the day. So it's promotion of holistic development and personal transformation. So that's Theatre Arts for Holistic Development. And the most important thing I would say is that it is not a teacher-student methodology. It is, as I said, co-actors. It is two people experiencing that moment in art together. It is something that I would 100% say that my children are my guinea pigs, and they are still my gurus. There's no doubt about that. So that's the summary, and so that you can read. We are at 11:45 already. So how much time do we, till 12, right? Till 12, okay? Okay, this is how much, this Tyagaraja?
7 minutes.
7 minutes. You, and the kids, 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Okay. And shall we go for Tyagaraja?
Yes.
So I have, maybe we can forward one portion if possible. So I have a small video clip of one of the performances of my...
You can stop with the first song.
Okay, that itself is enough. We can probably discuss it for 2 minutes after that.
Yes.
Yeah, better. Stop with just one song.
Yes.
So many questions will be coming up.
So 2 minutes of this. First
Okay,
2 minutes.
first 2 minutes you play. From Tyagaraja, the production that we had made. So thank you. This is a motley group. See, we don't have because each person is. This is like the world. Okay, we don't have very similar looking kids. We don't have but that's how it is. Unjavritti would look like this. Everyone going, everyone doing their thing, and just being themselves. But I would like you to think about, probably in the end, if we have time, we'll go over it. But even if you take home this thought of what all would go into the making of this, that is, in the sense that if Tyagaraja, if Guru Shankar has to play Tyagaraja, what are all the skills he would need to make him play that role? And therefore, what is all the learning that he would have had, and which he will take forward also by playing that role. That is enough for me. So this thought itself, if you have, that's enough. And I will call Guru in person now with that group, and I will ask Purna. I'll sing Rasa's song, and they will do for 3 minutes just the first Pallavi and Ondu Seruvom. Okay? Guru Shankar, me and Bharat, and she's our staff Josephine. Space yourselves comfortably. அற்புதமான கலை எல்லோர்க்கும் சொந்தம், அது கலைஞனின் எல்லைகளை கடந்தது. அற்புதமான கலை எல்லோர்க்கும் சொந்தம், அது கலைஞனின் எல்லைகளை கடந்தது. ஆடி பாடலாம் ஆடி பாடலாம், ஊனம் என்பது எதுவும் இல்லை. கூடியாடலாம் கூடியாடலாம், எல்லோரும் ஓர் சமமிங்கே. கலையே பிறரிடம் தன்னை வெளிப்படுத்தும் சாதனம், சுய முன்னேற்றத்திற்கு ஒரு உன்னதமான கருவி. கலைதான் ஈடில்லாதொரு அனுபவம் தான், ஒவ்வொருவரும் பகிர்ந்து கொள்ளும் இன்பம் தான். அற்புதமான கலை எல்லோர்க்கும் சொந்தம், அது கலைஞனின் எல்லைகளை கடந்தது. ஒன்று சேருவோம் கொடுத்த ஒன்று சேருவோம் 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 ஒன்று சேருவோம். கலையின் அற்புதத்தை அனுபவிக்க ஒன்று சேருவோம், கலையின் பேணுதலை அனுபவிக்க ஒன்று சேருவோம். கலையின் அற்புதத்தை அனுபவிக்க ஒன்று சேருவோம், கலையின் பேணுதலை அனுபவிக்க ஒன்று சேருவோம். கலையின் அற்புதத்தை அனுபவிக்க ஒன்று சேருவோம், கலையின் இன்பத்தை அனுபவிக்க ஒன்று சேருவோம். ஒன்று சேருவோம் ஒன்று சேருவோம் ஒன்று சேருவோம் ஒன்று சேருவோம் ஒன்று சேருவோம். சங்கி பின்னாடி போயிடுங்க, சங்கி பின்னாடி போயிடுங்க. சூப்பர், வெரி குட். The choir will come in the room. அப்படியே சேர்ல.
Presentation, but even the demonstration by the children is really wonderful as to how art can bring everybody together. Kalai, another wonderful song of Rasa, and you brought out a lot of information as to how to teach how to teach with the children, how to teach children with their own needs. And I think it is not necessary that somebody should be just physically disabled or emotionally disabled or mentally disabled. I think it is applicable to any child, because each child has its own pace of learning, its own level of understanding, and this really is a wonderful way to reach out to children, to bring out their capabilities and make them go forward at their own pace and achieve something, feel good about themselves and make us feel good, make them feel wanted. I mean for themselves as well as in make us feel that they are wanted. Wonderful way of unifying, and that is a wonderful methodology of that TAHD that you were trying to explain. And it is something remarkable that she has been doing it since her teenage, almost 42 years, and like she said, it's a lifetime, and to go on doing it forever, tirelessly, requires a lot of resilience, the mental resilience, the physical resilience, as well as the family support. Father also is resilient, so that is wonderful to carry forward that legacy of the mother that mother has introduced. And she was one of the recipients of the Trigeri Math award.
Also Radha ma'am.
No, ALRC. I just happen to represent ALRC. ALRC has done a wonderful this one. But we have been there for 150 years and you have done it within 40 years. That's wonderful. Anyway, that was this one. Now we'll wait for the questions from the audience. Yes, we have exactly 5 minutes because the next speaker is already there and waiting. Yes.
Please feel free to get in touch with me independently also anytime, no problem.
So we have exactly 5 minutes. Let us keep our questions very brief and more number of questions within that 10 minutes.
Namaste ma'am. You spoke about the role of Abhinay in guiding appropriate behavior. Like you already said, appropriate behavior is specific and subjective, but in various life situations. So could you just elaborate on that a little more?
Yes, so there are different kinds of appropriate behavior. There is situation appropriate behavior, there is age appropriate behavior. So we can't teach, for example, we can't teach a rhyme, Gundu Payyan Sunduvam, Suvarin Melo Kandana to this group, for example. So we tailor the sessions, we express and we allow them to express appropriately in any given situation. So the appropriateness is given to them by simulating the real life situations in a dramatic situation, and therefore they are able to see the rights and wrongs, and they are able to, like if there is inappropriate behavior for any, especially in the spectrum, like in the autism spectrum, inappropriate behavior in marriages. I have a very, very happy parent because his son, the father said, now I can take my son to all weddings. He won't behave inappropriately there. So that is how we bring in that into the training itself.
Namaste ma'am, that was very helpful, and I want to ask one question that in Natya Shastra, when we talk about the mindfulness, that the word that you have used, or the word of moksha, actually when we think about moksha, we think, or according to like yoga, if we say it is going beyond the mind.
Yes.
Like modification of the mind, we go beyond, like yoga's
Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yes.
So in Natya Shastra, how Bharatmuni has connected the moksha concept, or is there any more references to that?
Actually, there is no specific reference to either dharma, artha, kama, moksha, nothing. No specific references to that. But the demand of theatre, the moment you cannot have any baggage, nor can you have, we presented a production where we carry the past as a bag and the future as an arrow, and we're not able to do anything in the present. So it's like the requirement of that moment is ingrained in theatre. That is why it becomes the Panchama Veda. It's not something that you have to learn. If you act and if you surrender to the moment, and the demand of theatre being that supposing you have a very elaborate dialogue in the next scene, okay, and you're so worried about that elaborate dialogue in the next scene that you forget a simple dialogue of this scene, what happens? Right? So there's no, the mindfulness, meaning to say, yes, the mindfulness to that moment allows the mind to surrender and become the art where the mind itself goes. There is no me.
There's no artist, there's no mind, there's no me, there is just the presence of that moment. So there's no mindfulness thereafter. The mind is used as a tool to go into a space of universal oneness. That's what happens. I think, yes, we have to stop here. So, thank you so much. Thank you.
As a token of our appreciation, we would like to